and welcome back to the Gray Space. I'm Zeke, that is Dre.
Yes, sir.
And we are back with another one for you guys this week.
Man, y'all know what to do. Subscribe to become part of the tribe. Do us right. You know, hit that little thumbs up, hit that like, and comment if you are rocking with the content. Now, it's been a minute. We've been on a little hiatus, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
Traveling and whatnot, but we are back, and we're back with a fire one.
That we are, man.
I have been excited to do this interview ever since I went to my favorite drink spot, Jackrabbit Java, and they actually had some burritos on deck from this company. Mm-hmm. And I said, yeah, let me try one of them. You know what I'm saying? I had the little pulled pork joint. Mm-hmm. I took a bite into that. I had the little peppers in there. Mm-hmm. It was going down.
I bet.
I should have got two. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to reach out immediately and say, man, I really got to get y'all on the show. And started following them. And they're just popping up everywhere. Catering. Just the slow cook. If you're a fan of bomb-ass food, your next event needs to be catered by these people.
Right.
We welcome the owners, the builders of Fork, Arizona. What's going on?
What's up? Welcome to the building.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate the love.
Yeah. Like I said, you know, just between Jackrabbit alone, obviously where we are is a very new community, and so you gotta. It's nice to see these pop-ups and businesses, especially after, you know, what's happened over the last couple of years and people still opening up businesses. And so that's been fun in of itself, and that the whole team over there is great. But then when they started adding your guys' breakfast, and it was just like, I mean, my wife was like, yo, we gotta go, because she's on like all the Facebooks and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? So she's like, they keep popping up and we keep missing out. I'm like, cool. So we finally were able to get some. And like I said, right away, I was like, I want to know more about you guys. And so I started following the Instagram page and just seeing the food that you guys are making, the catering. I mean, I love seeing, you know, these events that you guys are doing, the birthday party, whatever it is, right? Mm-hmm. And the food, and it's not just one type of food. I mean, you guys stick to kind of a genre, but you guys do a lot of different things. I mean, I've seen some wings, I've seen pulled pork, I've seen some ribs, I've seen what don't y'all do? You know what I'm saying?
We'll let you know. You ask, we'll let you know. If we can't do it, we'll let you know, honestly. But we just like to funk off what we can, you know. We're very big on flavor, and we specialize in smoked meat, so we're going to incorporate that as much as possible into anything that we do, you know, whether it be straight up smoked meats or lasagna or whatever, pastas, any type of thing that we're going to do. We're going to try to highlight our smoked meats because that's what we do. You know what I mean? So we just love to just be funky with what we do. And I mean, we've been at this for a long time. You know, I started out, I don't know, I was a firebug at like 12, 13. You know, I was on the grill at like by myself, 14, 15, cooking it for everybody, and kind of liked the acknowledgement that you got, you know, when you can produce something. Right. So, I mean, it was never really something that I was shooting to do. Mm-hmm. I was in sports, you know, I got hurt. So it's kind of something that the Lord put in, you know. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, right now we're just following his path and the things that he puts in for us. And we're just trying to stay humble and stay grinding, you know what I mean, pretty much. And, you know, it's just, I mean, we just love what we do. And it's just finally, it's good to finally be fulfilled. Yeah. You know what I mean? In the sense of not having to punch a time clock, being able to pour our testimony into other people through food. You know what I mean? That's our call. That's what we see is we try to spread light and love of Christ through food. Whether it's a give back to a charity or we offer 20% off to different schools and churches and fire departments, anything that's helping the community, we want to be a part of it. You know what I mean?
Dope.
So I mean, we're just on his timetable, and we're just growing as he sees fit, for sure.
Nice.
Before we go any further, and this is my bad, I want you guys to do two things for me. First of all, just introduce yourselves personally, and really, I want to talk about the name, because there is something to it, and I'm glad you kind of told us where you're going with it. So if you guys could just introduce yourselves personally, and then I want to talk about the actual acronym of the name.
Well, I'm Patrick Wayne Caldwell. This is my beautiful wife, Summer Marie Caldwell. We met in high school a good 20 years ago, pretty much. We've been married. This is our 10th year we're going on.
Awesome.
So, I mean, I finally,
Congratulations, man.
after, I finally, did what I was supposed to do.
I waited 10 years too, man. Don't even worry about it.
Make sure ain't no switching up going around, we're going to see all the good, all the bad, for sure.
Oh,
but, she's from the Midwest. She moved out here in high school.
Okay.
I was born and raised in Arizona, moved to Vegas for a couple years, and I came back in high school. So kind of, we met that way. And like I said, I was playing baseball for a junior college in Prescott.
Okay.
I got hurt. I was left-handed pitcher, got hurt hitting the ball.
Okay.
Kind of got screwed around that way. Came back home, we kind of reconnected when I came back home, and it was like nothing. It was like nothing ever changed, and it was just love, and awesome. I just never really felt it. So it was kind of like I was attracted to it, and kind of like all my time went towards that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So after that, we were together. She started working at an elementary school.
Okay.
As the head cook. She was there for a couple years, and then I went to go cook at a little spot over the hill, and then we had a chance to open a restaurant in about 2012.
12, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we had an investor. A guy had tasted our food, and he's like, "Hey, I like what you do.
He was after us.
Let's do this."
Dope.
And it was for the wrong reasons. We were just jumped in. We were so happy. We were young.
Right.
And we didn't go about it the right way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
God first at all.
Right. We're just happy, and we didn't do our due diligence of research and what we needed to do.
We had a blast running our restaurant, learned a lot, met a lot of really cool people, made a lot of really good connections that we still need in our catering company today. But losing our restaurant was probably one of the better things that happened to us. Well, at the time, not understanding and not really making sense of it, but looking back on it, it was probably one of the better things that had happened to us.
Right.
We were serving smoked meat, and our vision for kind of like what we wanted to create as a company came alive there without even really knowing it, of wanting to have fresh food available daily, always scratch kitchen. When it's gone. And then years later ended up developing our catering company pretty much in that same image.
Was the name of your guys' restaurant The Fork as well, or was it something different?
It was called The Spot, THA Spot Barbecue.
Okay.
And we rocked with a peace sign as an O, because we have always believed in energy, and that energy can be shifted and can be shifted through food and something that you're putting into your body. So we've always believed in there being something more than just flavor into our food. So that was our name over there.
Made with love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yep, absolutely.
We try to put that on everything.
Everything, yeah. So we lost the restaurant in 2013, and really, I think that might be when our biggest testimony started, because we didn't know what we were going to do. We had given everything to our restaurant, taken all of our savings out, taken all of our retirement out, gave everything we had to our restaurant.
Every ounce, yeah.
Yes, and lost everything. And so we didn't know what we were going to do, and we just had to fall into the lap of Christ and be like, okay, what you see fit for us is what we're going to do. And not, but like a month later, I was approached by our old counselor that we went to school with. Okay. And she was like, you've always been really good. You guys make amazing food. You've always been really good with people. You do food. Are you interested in teaching high school culinary arts? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, no, I can't do this. I can't do that. And I specifically remember coming home that day and telling him, and Pat was like, we'll do it. you don't have to. Like, take the opportunity because we'll do it. I'll help you, because the honest truth is I don't come from a family where I was in the kitchen all the time. I was outside all the time. I grew up as a tomboy. I grew up in the country. I was always outside doing things, and I was an only child. And so I have my passion is more about what food can do to your body, and his passion is more about creating. He knows food in a different way. He's gifted with that. You know what I mean? So I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. So he was like, no, we'll do it together. Like, we'll learn together, and we got this. And so I took the job, and I loved teaching culinary arts. I loved it because while I was teaching my kids, I was attending classes, and I was working underneath chefs, and I was doing my giving the most to be able to give the most to my kids.
Right.
And so my knowledge opened up into realms that we didn't even know, and we need for our company now today. Met a lot of really cool students that work back in our program or our business now today.
That's dope.
Yeah. He coached, so even some of the baseball kids that were never necessarily in my culinary arts program, but were in coach's team, want to work with us. It was just a really great opportunity. I thought for sure I wanted to retire from teaching. And then opportunities came up, and our business was getting busier. We catered to all the teachers. Every year for Thanksgiving and Christmas, we would roll out hundreds of pies and meat and rolls, and just like what you would need for the holidays is kind of like where our catering started, was with the teachers.
Well, I mean, that was... We did the plate lunches when you was, but that was
years ago.
We was always just doing, food. Trying to grind here. Yeah, food. We always knew that we had a good product, and we were just trying to get it in as many mouths as possible.
Yep.
So when you guys were catering, were you guys catering like at the school, or were you actually catering for people, like their personal? So when
we first started, like back in the day when she first started as the kitchen manager, we had a weekly menu. Okay. And she'd give it to the teachers, and they'd order like a hot link, a rib plate, chicken plate, whatever.
Gotcha.
And then we'd take the orders by a certain day, and then that Friday, I'd stay up, whatever, Thursday, cook the meat. We'd all prep it, just out of our house, put it in the fridge, and she'd just take it in, and they'd come into the cafeteria, get their food throughout the day. That's how we started that. That was back in 08. 08, and that's pretty much how that all started. And then we left to the restaurant.
In 2012.
And then once we came back, we were there for like a year and a half. We finished with that. And then that's when she went to go work for the high school. And then that's when I was like, hey, let's get back to these plates, you know what I mean? Yeah, so then that was 2013? Yep. 2012, 2013, she was there, and it just grew, and we're selling pumpkin rolls and
all kinds of stuff.
Everything,
But it was also cool because our passion for food carried into my students. So we were like one of the only high schools out here on the west side that were actually catering for like the town of Buckeye for different events. Like my students would show up and they would put on full events because it was already something that we were passionate about, and I brought that to my students to teach them opportunities outside of just line cooking and things like that in the industry.
So did you guys both go to culinary school?
Neither one. No. I went to the college of Mama Skirt. You know what I mean? I was in the kitchen. My dad was on the grill.
I like that. I took it and I was like, oh, that's dope.
My mom, I learned at a young age that flavor was what it was about because my parents split, and before they split, my dad did all the cooking on the grill, and I loved the grill, out there on the grill all the time, watching, mess with the fire, whatever, and the food was always great. Everybody loved the food. They separated. I went over to his new house. The food was different. He's still cooking, and my mom's like, well, I do the seasoning.
Oh.
I said, okay, well, there we go. Flavor, anybody can cook, but if you don't have the right things putting on that, whatever you're cooking, it don't matter. You know what I mean?
This sounds like something familiar, man. So, this guy right here preaches. Okay. I mean, preaches. It's got to have the flavor.
It's got to have the flavor.
It's got to have the flavoring, right? Because how many ways can you cook chicken?
Right.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about the flavoring.
I don't want to see no salt and pepper.
I need something else on that. Something else.
You got at least some paprika or something.
Color, flavor.
For sure.
Yeah, so I set out to make sure that, and at the beginning, my mom was my worst critic. She was like, "Ooh, baby, that's too much. Like you going too heavy handed."
That's true.
So her being tough on me at a young age kind of molded me into being able to take criticism or whatever when it came to cooking and know that the flavor profiles I have are proven, you know what I mean? Because and my mom's still the best cook I know when it comes to certain things. You know, she's passed things on to me. That's when I know, like, hey, you did a good job. I get to make the peach cobbler. I get to make the mac and cheese now.
Right.
They
I
want
get to
mine
do
over
these
yours
things.
at the
You
next
know?
event.
Right.
She called me. She's like, "Hey,
dope.
baby, I need that recipe for your peach cobbler." I was like, "Oh, man, you want my recipe?"
Right.
You know, so yeah.
That's dope.
It feels good. So it's full circle.
Even at the school, when we were catering, it was getting busier and busier, and people were like, "What are you guys gonna do?" And we were like, "I'm gonna teach because I love my kids," and our babies are in heaven. So I went to school every day, and I loved other people's kids. It was easy to love other people's kids because I wanted that. And so teaching was like something I was like, well, I'm not walking away from this. We're just going to do this on the side. Right. Like everybody else has a passion that they grind for on the side. Like I thought that was normal.
Right.
I thought we all worked for the man and did something that we loved.
On the side.
Right. And so I was like, well, this is what it's supposed to be like. And I always preached having faith over fear, I'm a Christian. Maybe I shouldn't say a Christian. I'm a child of God. I believe strongly in faith. And so things got different at the school. We got a new principal, and he did not like how close I was with my students. My students knew I was a mentor on and off that campus. And so they knew that they could contact me for anything, jobs, help, ride. It didn't matter what my kids needed. I was there for them. We were there for them.
Right.
And that wasn't necessarily liked, and I was kind of bullied, and he was tired of me coming home every day crying and was like, we got too much to offer for you to be like this. He's like, when are you going to start taking your own advice and put faith over fear and just go full time in our business and see where God takes us? And it took a while. It took a lot of prayers and a lot of repeat of, babe, it's going to be fine. Just like before, we're going to do it together. And I was able to walk away from the school in October of 2020. And our business the Lord just poured into us. I mean, he just poured into us so that we could be so overflowing that we just were able to pour into other people and do things that we had really always wanted to do, but never thought was maybe capable or possible, you know?
So, it really did take you a while, because you're saying, that's like, what, 7 years?
Oh, years.
Yeah.
Years.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then talk about the timing of, so I'm going to go back a little bit. Did you guys have a name? Like, were you guys at this point?
No.
You guys were just, y'all was just cooking.
No, we were Hurt Shine Productions. We still are Hurt Shine Productions. Okay. And what that comes from is, like I said, we met in school. We were high school sweethearts, and my nickname in high school was Sunshine, and his nickname in high school was Hurt. He was a baseball player, so Hurt Frank Thomas. He was a lot like him.
Sure. Big Hurt, yeah.
Yes, yep. And that was our nicknames. Everybody knew us as Hurt and Sunshine. And so we decided that when we opened up our business back in the day, now we're not going to lie, we don't lie. We do our best not to lie. And that means that at one point we were working illegally. We weren't signed up with the state. We weren't registered. We weren't doing all of that. We were just hustle, grinding, and putting our love into food. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And that was when we were Hurt Shine Productions. Hurt and Sunshine Productions, we were producing anything from, we didn't even know that it was really necessarily catering at the time, because we were just producing. We were producers. We wanted to produce whatever you wanted.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
And so when we finally went down in 2019 and made our company quote unquote legit or legal with the state and everything, we still signed up as Hurt Shine Productions. We were like, we don't want to leave part of our foundation. And so our umbrella of our company is Hurt Shine Productions.
That's dope.
But our catering portion of our company is the Fort Catering. Okay. Funky, original, real kitchen catering.
Love it.
Love it. Yeah.
Absolutely love it. So the interesting thing to me is that when you decided to go full time, because in the average, like we get it, we understand it because of kind of just being in the industry that we're in. But to go 2020, and for you already be knee deep into it, and then her in 2020 to be like, all right, I'm ready now. Like,
now.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
to add to it, no, we don't. Everything is ours together. We share everything. But like finances at that time, if we're being completely honest, I was the breadwinner. Yeah. I was making what sustained our life and what paid our bills, and that's just how it was. And so for me, I was like, no, that's not even an option. Like the way I was raised, I've been working since I was 13.
I get it.
It's not an option. Like our bills come first. You know what I mean?
I definitely understand.
And so it was a really hard thing to do. But it took a few times of him telling me, like, babe, you preach and you have so much faith. Why are you not using the faith? Why are you telling everybody else to use the faith and you're not?
Well, I mean, she's kind of not really giving herself the credit because, like, 2019, we went down, we got legit. We had some people inquire about us catering, and we're like, all right, if we're gonna let's go get legitimate, so we're not looking over our shoulder every time we step out. So we got legitimate. We did our couple events, and we're good to go. In 2020, the pandemic hit. 2019 at the end. 2020 rolls around. At this point, we make a Chex Mix. We do seasonings. We do all type of things that we try to sell in little shops.
Our partnerships,
like En Route,
right, okay.
Jackrabbit, things like that. So this breakfast journey kind of started because we're still just like, we're not even thinking about breakfast. I smoke meat. I do ribs, chicken, brisket.
True.
We do dinner. We do lunches. We do all that stuff, you know?
Right.
She had been into En Route trying to sell our Munchie Mix and our rub. Put it on their shelves. No, we're good. We don't want that. Like 4 or 5 times, literally, in 6 months span. She had been in, hey, you guys ready yet? No, we don't want that. No.
Which we hear all the time.
Right.
It's part of the business.
Yeah, for sure.
She's a hustler like that. You know, we say, like, she's the face, I'm the taste. She gets out in front. She does all that grinding, and I do all the behind the scenes stuff. And she's in there helping me too. Don't get me wrong. She does more work than me, but I'm behind the scenes. She's the front of the house.
Yeah.
So she gets in there, and the pandemic had just hit, and they're trying to think of ways to drum up business, and their customers are wanting breakfast. So she's like, no, we don't want your Munchie Mix, but can you guys do breakfast? Yeah, we can do breakfast.
Oh,
sorry,
you say
whatever you want.
Sorry.
We can do breakfast. You know, I can do breakfast. I love breakfast. I eat breakfast all the time. I always complain about there's not enough good breakfast spots. So yeah, let's do breakfast. We started out with beef chorizo burrito.
Hey, I don't mean to interrupt you, but let me laminate that membership card on breakfast spots. Because that was the first thing I said to him when I got over there and I didn't get a burrito. I was like, man, ain't no damn breakfast.
It's true.
I passed by McDonald's, I was like, nah. So go ahead. So you started making the burritos.
Right. We started out with a burrito, a beef chorizo burrito, and a biscuit sandwich. She went in there with 30 pieces, 15 of each. And she sold out in like 30 minutes. Cool. She hauls me. I'm at the golf course. Hey.
I'm all excited.
Oh, I'm excited too. Cool. It sounds good. You know, the next day she goes in, sells out another 45 minutes. Cool. So that starts our journey. 15 of each. And we graduated when we we grew separated. You know, they needed more space, and we're kind of getting more into the private where, like, we couldn't be there every weekend. Like, we were there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, pretty much for a year and a half. We didn't miss a day. And then we started booking more private events where I can't afford 4 hours, 3 hours to be up here selling when I got to be over here in 2 hours. So we kind of grew apart, but we were making, I mean, anywhere from 7 to 11 different burritos and 5 to 9 different sandwiches. We'd have
we went from
green chili, and I mean we went from 30 pieces to like 150 pieces we were selling over there. So it was great. Dope. I mean, it was like the perfect storm for us. Like, God put us where we needed to be, and it was just the community around here is just great.
Amazing.
It's like a little pocket of gold around here. You know what I mean? We're just trying to capitalize on community love and spreading joy and just maximizing what we can do. You know what I mean? So that's how that started. So we would have never really been here had she had not been trying to push our other stuff and kind of fell into, hey, you guys, we don't want that, but can you do that?
Right.
Yeah.
And at one point, I was actually still teaching class on Fridays while serving breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We were, during the pandemic, we were remote. And so I would bring my kid, I would teach my kids on Fridays, and I would be slanging burritos and breakfast sandwiches and sharing love at the same time. eventually my school was like, you need to get a sub on those days. And I was like, why? The kids love it. Like, they're actually seeing business firsthand, customer service firsthand. Like, there was always assignments and stuff for them to do, but I was at one point teaching and doing what I could to still, like you said, feel like I was doing my job of working for the man while doing what I really wanted to do, which was what we really loved.
That's dope. Yeah. So, 2020, man. So you guys, were you guys? You guys weren't at Jackrabbit at that point, right? You guys were somewhere else, right?
En route coffee.
Okay, yeah. That's the other story. Are you guys still working with them as well, or not?
Not in the same capacity, not as much. We talked. She sat down and they want to do like more of like a pop up once a month type of deal because we've established another relationship with an event center, and it's just like that's starting really to blossom busy. And we're like, I'm not going to turn down private to go, I mean, it's like we're getting pulled short different ways. And then we thought about getting a team, and it's just like our hours we're up at like 2:00 in the morning. So it's kind of hard to get people to commit to continually getting up and grinding the way that we do and to care about the food the way that we do. So that's kind of the hurdle we're at now is like we're kind of maxed out in what we can do, which is fine because we love where we are. We're not complaining a bit. So it's the time like where we have to like pick and choose which events or what pop-ups we're going to do or how many pieces we can take today and things like that because of the private part.
Which is kind of hard because for us, we love private, we love public, but the public doesn't necessarily see what we do behind the scenes and what we have to do to make bills without, through the pandemic, we haven't raised our prices at all. While our food cost has doubled and tripled, we have not passed that on to our customers. We don't want to do that. We want to be a blessing. We want to be something to enjoy, not something where it's like, oh, I really want to splurge. No, that's not who we are trying to be. So we desperately needed to go where God took our company, you know what I mean, to continue to be successful. But it didn't come without hate from some people telling us that like we were less than and we were really shitty people because we weren't able to be at that place Friday, Saturday, and Sunday anymore.
Gotcha. Right.
And at the same time, we're struggling with the decision of saying we can't be here anymore. You know what I mean? Right. These are hard things to navigate as our company grows. But we're trying everything we can to be successful for the long run.
We loved En route. I mean, it was great. We loved En route. I mean, greatest relationship. I think we both benefited greatly from having each other. They had great coffee. We had great food. It's like
who doesn't want that as a customer?
Well, especially when especially because it's hard to find the good drink spots, the good coffee spots, and rarely. Even if you do go to like a Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks that offers breakfast, like the breakfast isn't that great, right? Like it's a muffin, it's some like mass-produced blueberry muffin that comes in a package.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's for the people who are like this, and that's great.
Right.
But like on a Sunday, even if you're like this, like my daughter's playing softball at 8:15 in the morning, and I want a nice drink. And energy drink, coffee, and I want something decent that's going to hold me over for 4 hours when I'm sitting at the field, not a damn muffin. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it's very hard to find that, and obviously you find that drink spots traditionally don't dabble into the food because of all the extra stuff that goes into it, right? So it's a beautiful thing, and you know what? Like you said, haters are going to hate. People are going to say whatever they want to say. We live in a world now where if I don't get my way, then I'm kicking and screaming like a 2-year-old.
And it better be right now.
And so, and you guys are in a great spot. You're so busy that you're having to pick, and it's always a good spot to be able to say no. And the honest truth is that business is way more about saying no than it is about saying yes. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you said that because when we first started, we were like, we'll take any job.
Of course.
We'll even cut our throat to get that job, to get our name out there. Like, we might scratch even, maybe lose a little bit just to fit into, and we were watching a thing the other day, and the guy it was on TikTok. We all on TikTok, right?
We are all TikTokers,
and a guy's like, he says, when I hear someone say, I'm too expensive for you, I am.
Yeah.
You know,
that's okay.
That's okay. I just, you know what I mean? My product is worth more than you're able to afford,
budget, yeah.
and that's fine. I don't think
less of you.
I don't think less of you, and you shouldn't think any less of me because of what it is. I for lack of a better word, I call our breakfast burritos the chronic of breakfast burritos. You can go to Filiberto's and get the Reggie for, you know, half price or whatever.
Right.
But if you want something that's going to be what it is, you get what you pay for. You know what I mean? And I still think our prices are very, very reasonable and in order for what you're getting. You know, you're getting fresh whole 100%. Eggs. You know, you're getting baby red potatoes, fresh meat. Everything's done that morning. It's not liquid eggs. It's not French fries. And it's good whole foods that we're giving you. Yes. So,
and that's really like part of, you know, we've been approached by other coffee shops and they asked for us to come over there. And then they've hit us with, is there any way you could bring the price point down a little bit? And I'm like, look, to be honest with you, some people even will tell us like, oh, well, when I go to Filiberto's, I get double that size. You do, because it's full of a bunch of fillers that, like you said, leaves me hungry again in 2 hours. Mm-hmm. It isn't good for my body. It isn't good for the cell structure in my body. It doesn't keep me hanging on. Like, so our product is actually appropriate for the serving size your body needs instead of overindulging. It is filled with, like he said, all amazingly good stuff. We take into consideration everything we put. When I say our prices on our food are expensive, it's because we pay attention to what we put into our food. Mm-hmm. These are important things to us. So,
and every part of it's seasoned.
And every part of it has layers of love. And if you know how to cook or you enjoy food, layering is half of the battle. You know what I mean? And so that's really like we're saying, you know, no, I can't get you a $4 burrito. And somebody was like, well, right up the road, I can get a $3.50 burrito from different places. And I'm like, dang it. Or they're like, well, yeah, but at McDonald's, there's a $1 biscuit. And I'm like, dang it. If McDonald's is making money off of your $2 or $1, imagine what you're putting into your body. This is killing you. You know what I mean? And so we are different. Our company is different in the sense of whether you're catering, you're getting our breakfast, you're ordering our desserts, anything, as much of it as possible is going to be from scratch. As much of it as possible is going to have as little preservatives and stabilizers as possible. And the portion size is going to be appropriate to what your body actually yearns and craves versus giving you things that are going to hurt you in the long run.
Oh, yeah. And over serving because the quality's not there. You know what I mean? Like we, as we experience things, you know, you go to like a expensive place to eat. You're paying for a very small portion of high quality ingredients, right? Or you go down the street, you got a plate full of stuff that you can't even eat. You can't even eat in 3 sittings. Legit. You know, so it is we've come to the point where it's like we're not going to be for everybody, and that's fine. Yeah, we have enough people that understand what it is and are willing. You know what I mean? Too.
Yeah. Do you guys have a kitchen that you cook at? Do you cook at home?
No. So everything now is legitimate. We're at a commissary kitchen. I'm the head kitchen manager at a elementary school. Okay. So we had our kitchen in the elementary school inspected by the state. They came out and they gave us, and we got our certificate, insurance, everything. So everything that we do is in that kitchen.
Okay. We just rent every month.
Yeah, we just
and it's on a you know, we put in our hours, we schedule time and stuff like that, which still makes it a little bit difficult for us because if it's during the school day, we have to be really strategic on what we're doing and what we're accepting and what we can know that we can provide because we are still somewhat shackled in the sense, but we don't look at it that way because when the Lord is ready for us to be somewhere else or do something,
He'll make it ready.
Yeah. So I want to go back to what you were saying about the layers because off top, that was the first thing I noticed. I was like, this is layered extremely well. It was like, you know, I hate it when you're like, you get a burrito or you get anything, right? But damn sure in a burrito. And everything is like in portions, and like it's like the eggs are up top, the bacon's in the middle, and it's like, bro, I want a bite of everything. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to eat it like a sandwich, I want to eat it like a burrito. So that was the first thing I noticed, and then like you said, just the seasonings. Tell me, how have you gotten to the point? Because this is what place I have never gotten of understanding. Like you even said earlier, he understands just the flavor profiles, like how, like obviously just cooking it through the years,
right?
But even as you're trying new things and building new things and adding things to your menu, how have you been like this? I know this is going to work with this and these blends, because that is I've talked to him about it. People talk about baking as a science, and it is. It's an exact science, right? But cooking, and especially when you're talking about proteins specifically, it is a science to understand that, like, how much cumin you need, how much garlic you need, paprika,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm with you 100%.
How have you figured this out?
So I every time I say it, it's just like it's a blessing from God. It took me like 7 years to develop my master blend, is what we call. We make a couple different ones, but I put the master blend pretty much on every meat I cook, everything. The only thing that doesn't get it, so breakfast, eggs have their separate seasoning, potatoes have their separate seasoning, and then the meat has its seasoning. So, but the master blend is like 12 or 13 different herbs and spices, and how I see it is the protein that I'm cooking or whatever I'm cooking gets what it needs from it, because it's gonna have, like, most things aren't that extensive in what they are, and most of them are salt based rubs.
Right.
Mine is not a salt based rub. Mine's actually a sugar based rub, but you wouldn't even be able to tell that because it's like so much other things in there, right? So you got herbs and spices that go well with this meat,
right?
And then herbs and spices that go well with this meat, and it's just like whatever the pork needs, it's in there, and the beef needs, it's in there. I developed it for chicken, so I mean, chicken. I say hands down, I produce the best chicken in the state.
Okay.
I try chicken everywhere, grilled chicken, the Mexican spot. You know, the Mexicans get down on the chicken, Caribbean. Hawaiian, you know, Korean.
Yeah.
My grilled chicken is hands down the best flavor that I can get, and I always go out, and that's how I kind of like not solidify, but keep
research and development kind of.
The confidence is by going out and trying all these accoladed places. You know, this is the best chicken in Phoenix for them, so I go try that. Well, still not on my level, so I'm good.
Right.
With what I'm doing, and it's just like I don't claim that I did this research and did this, and it's just I was just playing around. My Hertz original rub was only like 2 tablespoons of this and this and that, and it just grew into. I finally said I was done when I added nutmeg to it, and I'll tell you that much. I added nutmeg to finish off. Like, to me, it rounded out the whole flavor.
Okay.
And it's just the Lord blessed me. I can't say anything else than just being blessed.
I love the smile on your face.
You know what I mean?
You're talking about. I love it, bro. I love it.
And to divulge a little bit farther, we'll be traveling like down the freeway on our way to, like, I don't know, go to like a football game of one of our nephews or something, and we'll be listening to music, and out of nowhere he'll be like, "Babe, what about chicken with this and that?" And honest to God, sometimes I'll be like, I don't know about that. And he'll make it and it'll be fire. But in my mind, to me, it just doesn't make sense, right? That's why I say he's gifted. Like, the Lord has blessed him, because out of nowhere, he'll just be like, what do you think about this, that, this? And I'm like, sometimes I'm like, oh, that sounds fire. We got to try it. And other times I'll be like, nope, you way off. And he'll make it and I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. Yeah.
A chicken burrito it took me a couple months of saying, hey, let me put the chicken in the burrito.
I was like, don't nobody want chicken for breakfast.
I was like, shit, they got this chicken, they gonna want it. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's gonna be good, baby. Let's just try it. I mean, I know you got eggs is chicken and chicken is chicken, but so what? Let's put the chicken in the burrito. Yeah. And
it's not one of our best
now
sellers.
It's one of the ones we can't go without, for sure. Everybody likes the chicken.
Do you guys
burrito.
sell the spices that you've created?
Oh yeah. We sell that.
How do you get a hold of those?
So they're at like Ace Hardware in Buckeye, Ace Hardware up in Verrado.
That's dope. I'll be going to Ace all the time. I didn't know that. That's fire.
Yeah.
They're at and to be honest with you, it's partially my fault, because trying to get out everything that we do, because we do so much. I'll be honest, I'm lacking. I just don't have the time necessary to put out every partnership that we have and everything that we have. But our rubs are at Ace Hardware, Off the Hook Butcher Shop, En Route.
Okay.
And
is that where you guys get your meat from?
Sometimes.
So
depends on the job.
Yeah, I always that's the best meat.
Oh, you're good.
You naming all this fire stuff.
So we trying to like elitism. You know, right? We want to be where if we're mentioned. Oh wow, you're there. Okay, well that's a good spot. Like we kind of like pick and choose, try to strategically place and go talk to. Some places are like, nah, we're good. We don't want your stuff here.
Yeah, a lot.
Whatever, find us, whatever. And she just keep grinding. I'm not saying I do nothing. I'm just back. Producing. She out there getting the nose and the slam doors and all that stuff. So we are where we are is because of the grind that she puts in. And she'll be on. I'm like, what you doing? She's like, oh, I was just talking to this coffee shop, because we found, like you said, a lot of spots don't approach the food area. Right. So if that's somewhere, we're in, we know our product is good. So if we can get maybe a couple places, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or you can bring people in or whatever, and that's how we grow. We're now trying to figure out the best economical way to grow the business, the smartest way to do it. And like she said, we have like the munchie mixes, the rubs, all these are different lanes that in themselves are rock star products, in my opinion, which is my opinion, but it stacks up against anything it goes up against, it's right there. So in my opinion, it's a rock star product. And we just she's only one person. She can't, promote this and this and this and this. Right. Why our catering's kind of has taken over right now. Right. We're trying to, so she's just doing that.
Do you guys have a website or anything that you?
Yes. So our website is up. Unfortunately, we were we're super old sold, so like technology is not.
Hey, I get it.
It's not.
I understand.
It don't come out of us like food does. And so we have our website, but I'm actually working with a guy right now to finish the like e-commerce portion of it. Okay. Gotcha. All of our information is up and things about our rubs and our munchie mixes and stuff is there where you can find them at. But Lord willing, by December, by the end of this year, you'll be able to actually go to our website, purchase our rub, purchase our mixes, and I'll ship them straight to you guys.
What is the name of your website?
ForkAZ.com.
Okay.
ForkAZ.com.
Yeah, just so everybody out there can go check it out. At least go check that out. You know,
please.
To see what you're about and stuff like that.
Get hungry real quick. That's about it.
Right, and we still we fill orders all the time. People message us on Instagram, message me personally. Businesses order them for like their give backs to their employees and things like that. Right. And even in our other lanes, like you said, of our munchie mixes and our rubs, the passion doesn't stop with our catered or our breakfast. There's no stabilizers in our rubs. There's no MSGs in our rubs. There's no stabilizers or anything in our munchie mixes. Everything we try is, like I said, he's the flavor, and I'm really passionate about what food can do for your body once it's in you.
Yeah, nice.
I think my last question would really be, as far as the catering goes, you guys are pretty much doing just events, right? Like as far as like even like birthday parties and stuff like that, right? Like what's like the minimum? I guess somebody would need to come to y'all with
dinner. We just needed the minimum would be time.
Yep.
So we're not so like
if a
other
family
places
wanted to reach out to y'all and they wanted a Saturday dinner.
Got you.
Just reach out.
Give us enough time. Give us enough time. We do it all the time. I mean, all the time. During the pandemic, we had people reaching out, and we would provide like a week of pre-pet meals, what am I trying to say?
Pre-cooked. Like it was like pre-packaged, but not like in individual packages. Like we had a nurse that was up in Montana, and she'd have to leave her kids for like 30 days. So we would give them pounds of pulled pork, beans, potato salad, buns, sweets, and they would just be stored in her fridge, and her kids would make their plates and eat their food. We've got some people that are like, I want a meal prep. Even though we do meal preps, we did do meal preps. Well, I want a meal prep, so can I get 5 pounds of chicken?
Gotcha.
Already roasted or whatever. Yeah, Fire. Absolutely. Can I get agua fresca for this meeting? Absolutely. Can I get desserts for this thing? Absolutely. Yeah. You just gotta be willing to reach out to us.
Yeah.
And we're gonna customize. We're gonna customize whatever. No budget. People have messaged us before and been like, I want all of this and I have this budget. And we're like, we can't do that. It's like, great, on this budget I can give you a little bit of all these, or I can give you this, and we're gonna make it work. We don't turn away. I've never turned away someone because of the budget or what they wanted or how big or how small their event was.
Yeah,
that's not what we're here for.
So is the future, I know it's kind of hard because you never know what the future holds. Like food truck, another restaurant, anything like that ever like pop into?
You gonna take it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So you can answer me afterwards, and I feel like I say this because we are a little maybe not agreed on this 100%.
Okay.
Because I never again want to have a restaurant.
Okay.
Been there,
Fair
done
enough.
that. Did not love how much effort and work and money I had to put into making you come to my location. Because we had people that loved us all over the valley, and their not coming to our restaurant wasn't a lack of love. It was a lack of gas money and a lack of time with kids' practices and being across the valley. And I hated that.
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't enjoy that. We never want to do that again. When we got our licensing, we thought we wanted a food truck because we have a catering trailer. We don't have a food truck. We have a catering trailer, so we could pull up and cook on site legally and all that, just like a food truck can do.
Okay.
But like legally, if we're really getting down to the nitty gritty, a food truck is supposed to turn their menu into the state and serve what's on their menu. As a catering company, I can serve whatever I want. I'm inspected at least 2 to 4 more times a year than any food truck is inspected. Well, you just have to be a little bit more on point with a catering company than you do have to be with the food truck. We don't want to pop up on the side of a road. I don't want to pop up in someone's yard and hope that they'll come to us. We want to say our prayers and hope that people will come to us and say, hey, this is an event that I have. I need this. The creativity keeps it going for us. If we open up a food truck, like I said, I have to set the menu, pulled pork, brisket, whatever. Every time we step out, I got pulled pork, brisket, whatever. Our catering company keeps it so fun and so creative because, hey, my son is turning 3. We want little popcorn chicken and mini waffles. Never done it before. Absolutely. We got you.
I saw that. That was
you know
fire.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't do that. But legally, I'm not supposed to do that. I'm supposed to step out with what I've told the state. So when we went down there, we thought we were going to get a food truck license. And the lady was like, whoa, listening to your guys' vision, I think maybe you should look into the catering license. Didn't even know. I mean, it was a God-given thing. Didn't even know that existed at the time. And got into catering and have realized that this, without even knowing, is 100% the way we want to go. We want a place that you can walk into, a brick and mortar that you can walk into and see what we have. We kind of want like a what is it called, cafeteria style? Like, this is what's fresh today. Make your plate. We'll go. These are the sweets.
Nothing set. No, nothing. So it's like maybe
creative.
Like, let's go see what Fort got today. You know what I mean? Where it would be, I'm gonna cook some meat, some grilled chicken. We're gonna have sides, mashed potatoes, greens and cabbage. Because like soul food is a joke here. You know what I mean, in Arizona. And that's a passion. I grew up with like some of the best cooks in soul food, and it's just, I don't say that because I think it's because I've tried a lot of so-called soul food,
right?
And
very
it's
true.
like whatever.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can get. There's nothing like Lolo's, Mrs. White's Golden Rule, whatever. That's okay type stuff, but it's not like slap you in your mouth type
right.
food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Where you're not even talking. You just
you know what I mean?
Yes.
And like,
where you gotta look at it like, man,
Yes.
who made you like this? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
sure.
And we pride ourselves on sides. So like when we had our restaurant, we'd have vegans come in
and
to our barbecue
vegetarians,
restaurant just for our sides because our sides are so good. Like
fire.
Other places you're paying. Well, this is what I think. When you go places, you're paying for a protein, and the sides are throwaway pretty much. Like you rarely get good coleslaw. You rarely get good beans. Those are just cans thrown in there, whatever little sauce. Here, you want this meat, you want these ribs, you want this chicken.
Right.
Well, I want you to come back because damn, that was some good potato salad. You know what I mean? I want to get you.
Sure.
You're right. On the sides, we pride ourselves in having the best sides, bar none, out there. So when you know the meat, that's a good meat. Well, what are the sides? What do you want? Mac and cheese, twice baked potatoes, greens and cabbage, black eyed peas, whatever you want. It's gonna be next level for sure.
Fire.
Yeah.
But hopefully, Lord willing, a brick and mortar out here on the west.
Okay.
Out here on the west for
Gotta
sure.
be on the west.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not going back. Yeah,
West is all the love.
Westy all day.
By the way, I don't really pride myself on making a lot of food, but I do make a really good cheesecake. Do you guys like cheesecake?
Yes.
Yes, that's one of his favorite desserts.
Yes.
Okay.
I make a good cheesecake
Do you?
too.
I bet you I'm just saying.
I want to try it.
I'm just saying.
I want to try it.
Hey,
Yeah.
the best goddamn cheesecake I've ever had.
Nice.
I'm just
I wanna
saying.
try
No joke.
it. Okay.
No joke.
It's
Just
good.
plain? New York, what is it?
It's just a plain.
Just a plain. No, I'm just
plain
asking.
cheesecake.
Yeah, like classic,
I've
right?
experimented. I've made like an Oreo one.
Okay.
And I've also made a
As long as you got that base down, it don't matter, right?
Right. I got it.
Exactly.
I got it.
So now it just goes.
So
Yeah.
I'll have to give it to you.
Yeah, please.
I'll make
That's like my all-time favorite dessert is cheesecake
All time.
because of it's not like because it's just not it's not super sweet.
Yeah,
But it's
And
rich.
yeah.
And it's just so good.
Yeah.
I love cheesecake. I love
Yeah.
cheesecake.
I'll have to.
I love cheesecake.
Yeah.
Weird you said
He's
that.
trying to go into business. I'm trying to get him to go
Well,
into business.
see, on
Zeke's cakes out here, you
every
know what I'm saying?
every holiday, he's like,
Listen.
because
I'm telling you,
families around here are always like,
like,
can
bro,
you bring the
it's
cheesecake? Can you bring
slang,
the
bro.
cheesecake? Can you bring the cheesecake? And
I was like, I'll pack. I mean, I'm not
see,
going to help you cook it, but I'll package it. I don't want to mess it up. You know what I'm saying? That's on you, but I'll package it.
So I'm weird about the way it's baked in, though.
Okay.
So, and that's the issue I have. So, because for me, it's got to be either in ceramic or glass.
Okay.
When I bake it,
Okay.
because I've tried it in like the
Like
aluminum
spring forms?
Yeah, like aluminum type of stuff or
Yeah.
whatever. Never turns out right. Never. I don't know what it is, but the
Okay.
crust gets jacked every time because
Really?
I make everything straight up from scratch.
Right.
When I make that, it gets jacked up, and I don't like the way it turns out. So for me, it's hard because I'm like, I want to give you the best.
Right.
So
I hear
for
you.
me, it's either got to be in a ceramic or a glass pan.
Okay.
So that's the
tough.
hurdle that I have
That's
to get
tough.
around.
Yeah,
That's
tough.
really hard for me to
How
get
we getting- how we
around
gonna
because
get it
I'm gonna
done?
have
Yeah.
to. I would have to like charge a little bit more
for what it's in.
what it's in.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
But
doing
then I
that,
thought
yeah.
about it and I was like, well, what if I charged extra one-time fee, but if somebody wanted it back, they just give it back to me and then I cut the price.
We're here. That's what we did.
Yeah,
with
so-
our pies, with our holiday pies, we
Yeah.
charged because it was in a glass dish.
Okay.
But if you reordered, it was $5 off or whatever. You didn't have to
Right.
rebuy it. We didn't have to rebuy it. But
Right.
yeah, if you're gonna give a great product and it's part of your product and it's got to be a part of your
I would love
product.
for you guys to try it, just so I could get some more
Yeah.
feedback.
We would love to.
from
Yeah.
from some professionals.
For sure. I love cheesecake. Yeah.
So.
Well, let the people know where they can find you socially.
Instagram, fork_AZ. Facebook is The Fork Catering. And on both of those pages has our cell phone, our email, forkcaters@gmail.com. Don't hesitate to reach out. There are so many people that like finally reach out to us and they're like, oh, we didn't know if you could work with us or what our budget was. Don't hesitate to reach out. Like, please reach out. There's a reason. There's something that we can do for you. We would love to work with you.
Yeah. And if we can, we'll let you know.
Yeah. We're very.
We're not going to get every job, and we know that, and we're going to give you the most bang for your buck you can
Yes.
get. Bar none, you're going to get something that's worth a lot more than what you're paying for.
Yeah.
So
That's our jam.
for sure.
Fire.
Yeah.
And as always, we sprinkle it down here somewhere. It'll be down there sprinkle. You know how we do. You know what I'm saying? Well, Hurt and Shine, as I'm calling y'all from now on. You know what I'm saying? It's not Pat and Summer, it's Hurt and Shine. Thank you guys for coming
Yes,
through.
thank you gus so much, man.
Much continued
Awesome.
success to you guys. And I'm definitely going to be tapping in, probably either next weekend or the weekend after.
Yeah, we got some new burritos. We got some new items coming
Yes.
to Jackrabbit. So
Yeah, Jackrabbit is growing. Stick around because they've got lots of things coming around. It's just getting busier and busier.
Yeah,
The menu
lunches are
is
there.
only opening up. Not only do they carry our breakfast, but they also carry our cold lunches. So like our pasta salads, our charcuteries,
saw that.
our fruit things. We're getting ready to maybe roll out like
Some mac
some
and
smoked meat
cheeses.
mac and cheeses for lunches
Fire.
and stuff. So just don't forget about us. We're here. We're here.
That's
That's
me.
awesome.
Yeah, we
By the way,
appreciate
there's
that.
two things you guys have said. One, you said, and I meant to mention this earlier before we go, about your mom criticizing in a loving way, right? And I think that's super important. I really wanted to give a shout out to, because I think we don't get enough of that. There's a lot of people who just are in our corner going, yeah, rah,
Yes,
rah.
man. Yeah.
But I really
Right.
think criticism is good.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And good criticism, not like the bad, hateful kind. And I really wanted to give props to your mom for that, because I think we all kind of need that in our
Amen.
lives in some sort of way. And then what you said, faith and fear, I will never forget that. Faith over fear.
Yeah.
That is super important and super relevant for anybody and everything in our life, because there's a lot of fear
Yeah.
and there's a lot of hurdles that we have to get over.
Yeah.
And it's just having the faith to get over that hurdle.
Amen.
So
Amen.
I just I wanted to shout that out. I meant to tell you that earlier.
Appreciate
The
you,
conversation gets going, and sometimes my brain goes,
Yeah.
"Hey, so
Yeah.
I wanted to give you guys a shout out for both of those because I think it's super important, super awesome. And I love what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thanks
Thank you guys for having us.
It was a
our
blast.
first time, and
Awesome.
it was
We're nervous,
really fun.
but yeah, I'm glad.
We'll have
It
to
was-
spin the block with you in maybe about a year or
Please
so,
do.
see where you
See
guys
where
are
we're
at,
at.
and
Yeah.
we'll obviously be in contact because we'd be
We be busting over
yeah,
here.
we could be ordering
What's
some
up?
food and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll get you guys some cheesecake.
Oh,
and
for
let you
sure.
guys try it out
Yeah.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So, anyways, you guys stay safe. You guys stay positive out there.
And as always, this is the Gray Space. Peace.
Peace.